I know that most of us are totally embedded in this time of year, getting through the season, really don't have too much time in our brains right now to think ahead to 2024. But our next guests very much are, and they have you in mind this morning because they don't want you or your daughters or granddaughters to miss out on the fun. So who they are Sandy Pricer, who is with Rise Up. Next to her is Marissa Player Montgomery, who is with TCCY, which stands for Tennessee Commission on Children and Youth.
Yes.
And together they are putting on for the second year an event called the Girls Leadership Summit in early February. Good to see you both.
Good to see you too.
So I think anybody who has girls in their lives of any age, you kind of have a tender spot in your heart for them.
Yes.
When they hit middle school through teenage into early college, that soft spot just grows, Sandy, because that's a real tricky time for self-esteem in a girl. And that's what y'all are trying to kind of support with this summit.
Most definitely. Yeah.
So the collaboration between the two of you, I'm going to let you both kind of explain what it is that you do. So I'll start with you, Sandy, and then you'll understand why Marissa plays in so well here.
Okay. So I'm the founder and CEO of Rise Up Cooperative, and we provide life and leadership workshops for teens and young adults. So playing into Girls Leadership Summit, where the teaching of the self-esteem and the you value and you're worthy is a huge component of what we're doing anyway with Rise Up. So it made sense to work with somebody, and it just happens to be TCCY and my friend Marissa, to do something like this for the community.
Because your job is kind of as you're a state and partially federal entity, right? So y'all are kind of monitoring data and statistics on this. Is that a fair way to toss you that ball?
Yes. So TCCY does monitor or collect data for the state as a whole. We do the Kids Count data, and it talks about all of the poverty and youth justice and the things that kids and families are really struggling with. And those are the resources that we provide throughout the state.
Okay, so the reason they're talking to us now is because they believe so strongly in what they're doing on February 10th. It's totally free, and they only have spots for 300 people. So Sandy said when she walked in, I just don't want people to learn about us too late when all the spots are taken.
Yes,
so that's your Christmas gift to everybody.
Yes.
So you have this design from middle school through early college, and what are they going to do when they get there? Is it the University Center at UTC? Do they just immediately break up into kind of age-appropriate groups? How does it work?
Well, they'll come in and they'll sign in, they'll register. They'll already register, but they'll know what group they're in, what color. They'll get a goodie bag. They'll get their t-shirt. It'll be very similar to the one I'm wearing. And then they will go into the auditorium at the University Center. We'll have a big welcoming. We'll have a few speakers. Maybe Marissa and I will speak, maybe someone from UTC. And then they'll break into the small groups, and they'll go through 5 different sessions where they will learn different things. Each one is kind of similar but geared specifically toward a certain topic on self-worth, confidence, body image, mental health. And there'll be lunch, there'll be a vendor room where female entrepreneurs and local resources will be available. So that will be one of their sessions they'll rotate through. But adults are also welcome because we have adult sessions, so they'll come in the same way, they'll sign in, go to their section, they'll be upstairs in the UC, and they'll have, I think it's 4 or 5, I can't remember.
I think it's 5.
5 different trainings that are geared specifically for adults with a teen or a young lady in their lives.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. You know how when your children are little and you're trying to introduce new foods and they never want to eat the broccoli? And the pediatrician will say, well, you have to introduce that food 5 or 6 times before they'll actually take it. The same is true, I think, with having a positive thought click in your mind. And I'm sure that parents and grandparents have said these very same things, but they need to hear it from a third-party source.
Yes.
And they need to hear it often.
Yes.
You smiled kind of big when I said that. That must be on your data collecting somewhere.
I mean, we do see that especially our girls, our younger girls, do struggle with self-image and self-worth. Regardless of what parents, grandparents may speak to them, social media plays a big role in how they value themselves. So now that we're in this age of everything has to be online or social media with TikTok and everything else, we have to kind of combat that
Yeah.
with everybody being positive in their life.
You know, I'm glad you're including the parents because it's really hard to be the parent of a child that age because they wear you out. They do, and they're going through all those changes, and so you can feel at times like they don't want you around, and maybe you ought to back off. But more than ever, they need you to be right there.
Absolutely. We both have children that age. I have 3 girls and 3 boys, and 5 of them are teenagers. So there in the thick of it.
Where are your wrinkles?
I hide them well.
You're looking very good. So this is also a good opportunity for people who are in the education field. They can get credit for this, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, they can get, so social workers, counselors, they can get CEUs for coming to the parent sessions. And if anyone needs parenting hours, like maybe they're going through some type of court system and they may need parenting hours, they can get that as well by coming to the adult sessions.
So since people can't come and learn all that you have to share until February, any little tidbits you might know to help us get through the next couple of months with 6 teenagers in your house? I mean, is listening more important than talking?
Yes. I think 100% yes. They definitely need you to respond, but more than anything, they just want to be heard and know that their thoughts and their value is important to you.
This was a big one for me. So I have 2 daughters, and they're both pretty much grown, and one of them not quite so much. But to realize there's like that aha moment where you realize, oh, they're not a duplicate of each other.
Right.
Your kids are all individual, and so you have to address them as that, not as what the book says.
Yep.
Which makes it difficult because they're all so different, and they're different from you. So you have to learn how to navigate each of them.
It's a very difficult thing once they're no longer a passenger in the car. When they get their driver's license, life changes. Did I hurt your heart?
I have a 16-year-old now that is trying to learn how to drive, and it is scaring me to death.
Well, it's so hard as a parent because that's your captive time. When they're in the car, you learn everything there is to know.
That's so true.
Then you miss that. So do you get that back, you think, Marissa, just by kind of creating some times that they're not even aware of?
Yeah, so I have a 21-year-old as well, and she, I feel like I missed a little bit of time with her when she was in high school, late high school, because they want to be so independent and they're just all about friends. But now that she's a little bit older, it's like, okay, Mom, I'm home from school. I want to spend this time with you. So they circle back around. It just takes some time.
That's why I made the point about it's good just for parents to remember to hunker down because they really are going to come back.
They will. They'll circle back around.
In the meantime, watch Leanne Morgan. Do you know who she is, the comedian Leanne Morgan? No. Oh, I'll share with you when you leave. She has a great bit on a 15-year-old daughter and how you don't even recognize her anymore. So it's a true thing. Where did you come up with the lion? What's the significance of your lion?
Well, it's just really pretty first is what drew us to it. But so many times we feel that women in society aren't heard as well, or they don't feel like they can speak up, or they can have control over their own thoughts or their lives or their bodies. So lions are loud, right? So the hear us came from be a lion, speak up, advocate for yourself.
I like that. You know, we kind of purposely just chit-chatted and went off in a woman conversation, I think, this morning. But you have a chance to see kind of who they are, how they approach things. This is not going to be some clinical day. This is going to be a heartfelt, who are you and who is your child that you love so.
And it won't be a school-like day either. It'll be full of fun and activities and new friendships and free stuff.
Yep, and it's all free to use. But they do need you to register because they only have the 300 spots. So if you go to girlsleadershipsummit.org, you can register. Maybe you can see at this point even what all there is to kind of expect that day. But they're perfecting it. By the time you get to UTC on February 10th, you will be ready to go.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Bo.
Thank you.
16.
What does searching for a Medicare plan feel like?
It's kind